and welcome back to Yoga and the Goddess. Today we're going to focus on Lakshmi. Lakshmi is the goddess of abundance, good fortune, prosperity, and sort of just all things that are lovely, right? And so often you'll see Lakshmi depicted with these four arms, and these four arms are indicative of sort of the four pillars of our lives. And so one arm is for dharma or purpose or righteousness, right? And then the other arm is for artha, which is essentially wealth or like the aspirations in the world. And then kama is the other arm, and kama is our ability to receive pleasure and give pleasure and experience pleasure. If you think about like the Kama Sutra, kama means pleasure at its most basic form. And then the last arm is moksha, which is liberation or freedom. And so these are essentially like aspirations that we're reaching for in life. And Lakshmi has these open arms ready to give up what we are willing to receive. So in working with Lakshmi, we have to have an open heart. We have to have a willingness to receive, sort of like a surrendered spirit. Because if we are closed off, or we're constantly protecting ourselves from this and that and this and that and all the experiences of life, then we don't have enough openness in order for Lakshmi to pour her blessings down into our life. So today we're going to work with opening the heart, opening up those hips, because those are usually the two places that we close off first. All right, let's begin. We're going to start with Baddha Konasana. So put the soles of the feet together, take your peace finger and your thumbs, wrap them around the big toes, and just start to flap those legs open and shut. Or not fully shut, but up and down. We're just going to wiggle like little butterfly wings, the knees up and down, getting some heat and lubrication in those hip joints. And just a little bit of movement. We're not getting crazy yet. But as we are here, we want to set an intention of being open and surrendered so that we can open ourselves up to gifts of abundance. So you may want to set your intention something like this. I am open to the gifts that Lakshmi has for my life. I am open to abundance in all forms, not just financial wealth, but also joy, wisdom, peace, and harmony. All right, let's bring that flapping to a stillness. Take a big inhale, sit up out of the sit bones, and exhale, start to move that chest forward. Inhale, bring it back. Exhale, move it forward. Inhale, bring it back. And last time, exhale, move it forward. And this time, start to round in that spine and bring the forehead a little closer to the ground. Feel your breath expand the back body. Maybe you can even feel the space that's being created in each vertebra as you're rounding the spine here. And on your next inhale, round up nice and slow. Beautiful. Let's take this into wide legs. So spread those legs out as far as they'll go while the toes continue to point up to the sky. And we're going to inhale, left arm up and over to the right. And then inhale back through center. So not holding. Exhale up and over to the left. And then inhale back through center. And do this a few times with your own breath. Every exhale is going to bring you over and down. Every inhale is going to bring you back up through that center line. One thing to note here as you're moving side to side is if that opposite hip tries to lift up off the ground to get you closer to the opposite foot, I want you to push that hip back down. Just a couple more. For me, it's a little different. My left side almost never lifts, but my right side almost always tries to lift. So I have to be really aware. And in this, we're just opening up that side body, really trying to include all parts of the body today to leave ourselves in this accepting state, in this more spacious and expansive state that Lakshmi can work with. Last time. And through center. Let's go ahead and hold this time. So now we're going to bring that right hand either onto the thigh, or we're going to bring it down inside of that right thigh. Inhale, left arm up, and exhale, reach those left fingertips for the right toes. Now, you may never even get close to the toes, and that's absolutely okay. That's not really the goal. The goal here is to become more deeply aware of what's happening inside of the body, what's happening inside of the mind. Can you step into a space where you are available to receive more? Can you breathe yourself into a space of equanimity, allowing whatever is to be? Next inhale, bring it all the way back through center. And exhale, let's switch sides. So that left arm's going to either come to the thigh or all the way down inside of that left thigh. Right arm is going to reach up and over. Remember, push that hip back down towards the mat if it tried to lift up. And breathe into that side body. Breathe into the hip, into the thighs. Let yourself deepen into space here. And as you do so, maybe you can even visualize some of the areas that you would love Lakshmi to touch in your life and bring greater abundance. Inhale, bring yourself back to center. And now exhale, we're going to go ahead and do a forward fold now. I'm going to back up just to make sure I stay in the frame. And so exhale, find those hip points and just start to move forward and back here. So forward and then back up. If you go a little too deep, you may need to use those hands to help push you back up. But try ultimately to use the strength of the legs and the core to facilitate moving back into your upright position. Just a couple more. Breathing here into the movement, into the space that you're asking to be created in the body. And on your next exhale, go ahead and bring it all the way down to the mat. Maybe the hands come down. Maybe you don't even go down that far at all and you just move forward slightly. Wherever you're at, breathe into it and accept where you're at right now. Give gratitude, as a matter of fact, for where you're at right now. When we work with Lakshmi, we work with gratitude. The more that we can find or focus on that we're grateful for, the more we can receive. The more we're going to raise our vibration and be able to get more of what we would desire, what brings us pleasure, right? So one of those arms of Lakshmi's is that Kama arm. The pleasure. We want to experience the pleasure of life, of just living, and be grateful for it. On your next inhale, bring yourself back up. And now we're going to do fire log pose. So bring your right shin perpendicular to the mat. I want you to keep that right foot flexed at all times. That knee is going to move down towards the mat. Now, from here, we're going to lift that left leg up. Flex the foot automatically. First thing we better do is flex that foot, keep the knee safe. And then you see the outside ankle bone. I want that ankle bone to stack directly on top of the right knee. So we don't want to stop flexing the foot, keep the foot flexed. And we don't want that ankle bone to go beyond the knee, but we also don't want the ankle bone to go before the knee to where the outer edge of the foot starts to cave that ankle in. So ankle bone stays directly above the knee. Left knee is now directly above the inner ankle bone on the right side. And from here, you can stay stationary, nice erect spine, maybe do a couple of neck rolls, get some movement in those shoulders. Or if you would like, you can start to move forward nice and gentle. Remember, keep the feet flexed. This is going to protect those knees. Don't let that ankle sickle. So we want to keep that ankle directly over the knee. I know I'm like preaching it, right? But we want to make sure everything is nice and protected. Just 3 more breaths wherever you've decided to land. Even if you're moving forward, you can still do those neck rolls and get into the upper body a little bit. 1 more breath. And then go ahead and rise up if you've leant forward. And then flatten that left foot directly outside of that right thigh. Take the left knee into the crook of the elbow of the right arm, and then bring the left fingertips back behind you and gentle twist. Gaze over the left shoulder. Breathe in to lengthen up through the crown of the head, and as you exhale, a little bit more twist from the core space. So we're not pulling on the body to get in this twist. Instead, we're activating through the abdominal muscles to twist ourselves over to the left. Bring it back through center. And then cow face or Gokumasana. We're going to stack left knee on top of the right knee. Both feet are out at the side. And did you know cows are actually a symbol of abundance? So this is a very appropriate pose to do when working with Lakshmi, is Gokumasana cow pose. All right, from here, you have 2 options with the shoulders to help open them. You can clasp the hands back behind you and just squeeze those shoulder blades and move the fists up towards the sky. Or we can take our right hand, start to walk that hand up the spine with the back of the hand on the spine. Reach that left arm up and then behind for the right fingertips. If you have an extremely difficult time grabbing those fingertips, you can always use a towel or a rag between both hands to hold and connect here. And breathe in. Don't cave that heart in trying to get those fingertips. Instead, lift and expand through the heart space. And at the same time, keep the head nice and high. 2 more breaths. And very slowly release the arms. I don't want you to move quick because those shoulders can be quite tender after that pose. Roll the right shoulder back and then roll it forward. Beautiful. And let's slowly release these legs so that we can do all of that on the other side. So that left shin is going to come perpendicular to the top of the mat. We're going to flex the foot, flex the right foot, pick that foot up, place the outer ankle bone directly on top of that left knee. You may instantly recognize that there is an imbalance in the body. One side may be more available than the other. That's okay. Hold that space with equanimity. Allow it to be what it is. Just observe. And now that right knee is directly over the inner ankle bone of the left foot. We're breathing here, opening up. Now, whatever you did on the other side, whether that was leaning forward, staying straight, neck rolls one way, let's do it here as well. Keep as much balance in the body as we can. Even if one side is out of balance, we're going to try our best to keep it as balanced through our movement and our action as we can. One more breath. And then if you were leaning forward, go ahead and bring it back up. We're going to flatten that right foot just beyond that left thigh. Hug the knee in with the crook of the left elbow. Reach the right fingertips back. Sit up out of the sit bone so that the spine gets nice and long. And exhale, gaze over the right shoulder. Every inhale, allow yourself some space. And every exhale, from that core strength, twist a little deeper, like you're wringing out the spine. getting rid of any debris that's holding you back from the abundance that Lakshmi is already ready to give. Inhale, bring yourself back through center. Gokumasana, we're going to stack that right knee on top of the left knee. And then from here, your two options for the shoulders are either clasp those hands back, lift the shoulders up, or lift the fists up. Or take that left hand, start to walk the back of the hand up the spine, reach the right arm up and over, and reach it back for those left fingertips, or the towel, or a shirt, whatever you've got, a belt, anything works. Reach that right elbow up towards the sky, keep the heart lifted, keep the head lifted, and breathe here. Imagine like every inhale is allowing the heart to open up just a little bit more, a little bit more. And every opening that occurs, all the space that occurs, allows Lakshmi to take one of her hands and just pour treasures into your life. Nice and slow release. Right arm comes up and down. Release that left arm nice and slow. And then find a couple of shoulder rolls. Gentle with the shoulders. Beautiful. Roll it forward. Excellent. And let's release the legs and meet in tabletop. We're going to move right into puppy pose here from tabletop. So start to walk those hands forward. And then they're going to reach kind of a zenith. And what we want to do from here is dip the heart down. And then lift it back up. So be gentle here. Dip the heart down. Try to keep those hips out of the action. The hips are kind of just hanging out over the knees. Lift that heart back up. The heart and the shoulders, the upper spine is really doing all of the work here. One more time. Move that heart down and then lift it back up. And now last time to lower and hold here. Breathe openness into the throat chakra, into the heart chakra. Allow yourself to feel spacious throughout the sit bones, almost like they're widening. And then next inhale, start to walk those hands back, Balasana, child pose, forehead down to the mat. Inhale, round the spine, pick those hips up off the heels, press the hands down, tuck the toes, push the toes down, lift those knees and hover the knees up for 5. Hold the belly in for 4. Squeeze the pelvic floor for 3. Breathe for 2. And extend those legs, hips up to the sky, downward facing dog. Find some free movement here in your down dog. Hips swaying, shoulders rolling, neck moving. Whatever feels like a little dance between your body and your breath. And next inhale, step that left foot in between your hands. Drop that back knee down. Take the left hand inside of that left foot. And then walk the left foot a little closer to the edge of the mat for some lizard lunge. Lizard lunge, you can always use blocks. For any of these poses, you can use blocks. But if you don't need blocks, hands stay on the mat. If you want to go deeper, you take those forearms down to the mat. Now, what I want us to do from here is open and close this left knee. So we're going to roll to the outer edge of the left foot and then flatten that foot to close the knee out. Open the knee, close the knee. 2 more. Open, close. 1 more. Open, close. And now hold it open. I like to take my left hand and very gentle pressure. So I'm not forcing anything, but I'm kind of adding a little weight to the pool of gravity. So I'm just pushing it open, allowing for a deeper external rotation on that left hip. Breathe all the way up into the heart space. And let's move into Skandasana from here. So flatten that left foot out. Come back to the hands if you were not already. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Now what we're going to do is we're going to rotate to the inner edge of that right foot And then all the way onto the heel as we sink the hips down and the right toes go up, Skandasana. We're going to move back into our lizard lunge, so rotate inner edge of the right foot, all the way to the toes, the heel lifts, sink hips down. And again, Skandasana, lizard lunge, sink hips down. Skandasana, and low lunge, or lizard lunge, sink those hips deep. Last time, Skandasana and hold here. Sink all the way down to the booty. Take the right hand, scooch forward just a little bit for me. Take the right hand, grab that left ankle, reach the left arm up and over for the right toes. Again, you may never ever catch those right toes, and that's absolutely a-okay. We're just reaching that left hand, elongating from the left hip all the way through the rib cage, all the way through the armpit, and out through the left fingertips. Beautiful. Reach back up through center. And now we're going to move over to this right side. So we're going to pick the hips up, bend into the right knee, walk ourselves over for our lizard lunge on the right now. Sink those hips down. Either stay on the hands or come down to the forearms. And now remember, we did that open and close. So roll to the outer edge of that right foot and then flatten the foot. Outer edge, flatten, outer edge, and flatten. Outer edge, last time, hold open. And maybe you take that right hand and just gentle pressure. Remember, we're not doing too much because we don't want to create force. We want it to open up organically. But some things help. So kind of like working with Lakshmi, we're not trying to force abundance. We want to receive a flow of abundance. And so when we do practices like gratitude or intentionally tearing walls down that we've built up for protection, that will start to organically open ourselves up for the vibration of abundance, for the vibration of good fortune, of prosperity. Okay, flatten that right foot, come back to your hands. We're going to move between Skandasana and lizard lunge. Tuck that back toe, lift the back knee up, and what I want you to do is roll to the inner edge of that left foot all the way down to the heel, drop the hips, toes go up, and bring it back, lizard lunge. Sink hips down, Skandasana, hips down, left toe up, lizard lunge. Two more, Skandasana. Bring it all the way back through, lizard lunge. Last one, and we're gonna hold on that Skandasana. Sink the hips down, take the left hand, grab a hold of the right ankle, reach the right arm up and over, and reach for those left toes. Let the breath move through the body nice and easy. Extend all the way from the right hip out through the right fingertips. And then inhale, bring it back up. And from here, hands are going to plant. We're going to lift the hips up and move straight into a wide leg forward fold. So pivot those toes to face towards one another, a little pigeon toe here. Take a big inhale and exhale, deepen into that fold, whatever that looks like for your practice. Maybe the crown of the head comes to the mat. Maybe you just keep those hands on the mat. Wherever you're at, just breathe. Smile a little. As you're here in your wide leg forward fold, think of at least 3 things that you can offer up gratitude to Lakshmi right here in this moment. For me, I'm grateful for an able body. I'm grateful for the opportunity to get to share about the goddesses with you. And I'm grateful for breath that moves easily in and out of my lungs. Beautiful. Next, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, right hand directly under your nose. Inhale, left arm up to the sky. Twist here. Exhale, left hand down. Take an inhale and exhale, right arm up to the sky. Inhale, right hand down. Take your exhale here and inhale, left arm up to the sky. Exhale, left hand down. Inhale here. Exhale, right arm up to the sky. And right hand down. We're going to walk our hands all the way over to our left toes. Pivot on the foot and bring that left foot back to meet the right for downward facing dog. Next, inhale, we're going to step that right ankle directly behind the left wrist for pigeon pose. The right knee is going to land behind the right wrist. Remember to keep the right toes nice and tucked here, or not tucked, but active. And then sink down into those hips, but not without the strength of those inner thighs. So continue to move the inner thighs towards one another with the strength of the legs. So you have this buoyancy. So even though you are sinking down into the hips, you also have a sense of lightness in the pelvic area. Now from here, we're going to keep the hands down and work by pulling that left heel towards the glute, drop it back down. Pull it in, drop it down. 2 more, in and down. 1 more, in, down. Now lift that heel up, pull it in, reach back with the left hand for the inside arch of the left foot. So we're not grabbing the outside, but we're grabbing the inside and start to pull that left heel closer and closer towards the outer left hip. Beautiful. Now let's take this into mermaid to expand entirely through this chest space, the heart space, releasing any cages that we may have held onto that prohibits any sort of flow of abundance and prosperity. So take that left foot to the inner crook of that left arm. We're going to reach the left fingertips up. And now this might be enough for you, or you might want to take the right hand, palm facing up, reach up and back. Maybe you grab a hold of the fingertips and you expand into that heart space, opening up through the shoulders. Maybe you lift the head up, so you open up through the throat. Breath is fluid, so there's no restraint or restriction in the breath. Again, if it's difficult to clasp the hands here, you can have a belt. That's always handy. Or a strap. If you have a strap, even a towel would work here. We're going to breathe 3 more times. Smile as you do so. And nice and slow, release that left foot back down to the mat. We're going to push into the earth with those hands. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and bring that right foot back to meet the left in downward facing dog. One more breath. And then step that left ankle directly behind the right wrist. Left knee behind the left wrist. Keep that left foot flexed to protect the knee. And then with activation, sink down into the hips. So inner thighs continue to engage with one another. Keep everything nice and bouncy, nice and buoyant. At the same time, you're finding this anchoring sensation. So it's like a dichotomy of energy, buoyancy, anchoring. Keep those hands down, and we're going to bend right knee so that that heel comes towards the glutes, and then drop it. Bend, drop. Bend, drop. And one more time, bend that knee, reach back with the right hand for the right inside of the foot, and start to pull that heel towards the glute. We're going to move into our mermaid pose here. So we're going to take that foot into the inner elbow of the right hand. Right hand reaches up. We're going to palm up, reach the left arm forward, And then all the way back, reach for those right fingertips and expand into the heart space. If on the other side you opened up through the throat too, we're going to lift the chin up and open that throat space. Continue to breathe here. Feel the expansion along the right shoulder all the way across the chest to the left armpit. One more inhale. And as you exhale, very slow release with control, with grace. Hands come down to the mat. Push the earth away, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and let's place that left foot back to meet the left in downward facing dog. Give yourself 3 cycles of breath here to fill into what the body is experiencing right now. What sensations? Do you feel more expansive, spacious? On your next inhale, gaze forward. Take a hop or a step to the middle of the mat. We're going to crisscross those legs for just one moment. Hands in the lap. Sit up nice and tall. Take a big breath in through the nose. Full breath out through the mouth. 2 more. Big breath in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Last time, in through the nose. Hands to your heart. Take a bow and give up one gratitude prayer. So something that you can find in your mind's eye that you are ultimately holding thanks around. Open those eyes and let's meet on our spine on the mat. Pull the heels in towards the glutes. Feet are about hip width distance, setting up for bridge pose. So push into those heels, lift the hips up, engage those inner thighs towards one another, and then walk the shoulder blades underneath you a little bit more. Clasp those hands, pull the clasped hands towards the heels, and breathe here into your entire front side body as it is opening up. And I'd like you to visualize that Lakshmi is standing right there at your feet. All 4 of her arms ready to pour loads and loads of blessings on you. Remember, there's the arm of Dharma, righteousness, purpose. What's our drive? What's our purpose? What drives us? What really drives us? Let her fill you up with that. Keep breathing, keep holding. There's Arta, wealth. What is wealth for you? What in your life can become more wealthy? Visualize her wealth arm, dumping blessings of wealth all over you. And you are open here. You are receiving it. Keep breathing. You've got this. There's Kama, the arm of pleasure. How can you experience, how can you create greater pleasure in your life? How can you open yourself up to this? Keep breathing. I know we've been here for a minute. Inhale. Watch her arm pour the blessings all over you. And then there's moksha, liberation. How and where in your life can you be more greatly liberated? Watch as she dumps loads and loads of liberation all over you because there is no lack. Take one more inhale. Breathe it in, expand, and exhale. Lift those heels and slowly unclasp the hands as you start to drop down vertebra by vertebra. Don't rush it. You were there for a while. Now is the release. Beautiful. Send those feet as wide as the mat. Let the knees collapse in on each other. Breathe in and exhale out. Place one hand on your heart and then the other hand directly over top of your hand on the heart. Feel the beating below your skin. Feel the aliveness in your body. Feel the breath as it starts to expand the rib cage on inhale, filling you up with life force, with another opportunity, with greatness. Smile at all of these things, at all of the good fortune, at all of the prosperity. Even if life is hard, even if you have your challenges, find those moments that bring you great pleasure, great wealth, purpose, and liberation. And focus there. Put your focus there. And I promise you, Lakshmi will not disappoint you. She will come in and fill your cup up more and more and more greatly than you ever imagined. Stay here as long as you would like. Thank you for practicing with me today.